Picture this. The golden couple of college football turned NFL sensations, Travis Hunter and his stunning wife, living what fans thought was the perfect love story. Social media painted them as untouchable smiling selfies, luxury vacations, hand-in-hand entrances at charity galas. But behind the flashbulbs and carefully crafted Instagram captions, a storm was brewing. And last night, that storm finally erupted into a full-blown scandal that has the sports world buzzing and fans gasping for air. Reports are pouring in that Travis Hunter allegedly unleashed his fury after discovering what he calls the ultimate betrayal. His wife sneaking around with none other than one of his own teammates from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, you heard that right. One of the men he sweats with on the field, trusts in the locker room, and calls brother May, have crossed the ultimate line. Eyewitnesses claim the confrontation exploded in a way that left even close friends speechless. With Hunter's rage boiling over and his wife breaking down in tears. Now, the question everyone is asking, how could a bond so strong crumble this spectacularly? And more importantly, what does this mean for Hunter's career, his family, and the fragile trust in a team already under the microscope? Stay with us, because this is only the beginning. The night it all came crashing down started. Like any other glamorous evening in the lives of Travis Hunter and his wife. The cameras had just clicked their smiles at a fundraiser dinner. Fans online were fawning over how radiant they looked together. And teammates were teasing Travis about how he always managed to win the spotlight no matter where he went. To everyone watching, it was perfection wrapped in gold. But deep down, Travis felt an itch in his chest, a suspicion he had been trying to bury for weeks. Whispers had reached him, quiet but sharp, that his wife had been seen in places she had no reason to be. Rumors flew that she was growing unusually close to one of his Jaguars teammates. At first, Travis laughed it off, dismissing it as the usual gossip designed to tear down public figures. But when he noticed her texts becoming more frequent, her excuses piling higher, and her phone suddenly glued to her side, the laughter stopped. Fans often forget that beneath the helmets and bright stadium lights, athletes are human too, with fears, jealousy, and the same fragile trust that holds any marriage together. Travis was no exception. He loved hard, he trusted deeply, and when that trust cracked, it didn't just burn, according to sources close to the family. The breaking point came late one night when Travis returned home earlier than expected from team meetings. The house was quiet, too quiet, and his wife was nowhere to be found. Her car, however, was in the driveway. He walked through every room until he saw the faint glow of her phone buzzing on the counter. And there it was, the message that shattered him. A text notification popped up with a nickname he instantly recognized as belonging to his teammate, the man who lined up beside him, who shared game strategies, who claimed to be a brother. The message wasn't ambiguous. It was raw, intimate, and far beyond what could ever be mistaken as friendship. Travis's chest tightened, his pulse racing. Fans who adore him for his composure on the field would not have recognized the man standing in that kitchen, gripping the counter so hard his knuckles turned white. When his wife finally walked in through the front door, humming softly as if she had nothing to hide, Travis confronted her head-on. His voice, usually calm and charismatic, was trembling with a mix of fury and heartbreak. "Don't lie to me," he said, his eyes locked onto hers, tears threatening to spill. "Tell me why my teammate is sending you messages like this." She froze, color draining from her face. Her lips parted, searching for an excuse. But the silence said it all. What followed was an eruption that neighbors later admitted they could hear through the walls. Travis's rage, his wife's pleas, the crash of something breaking against the floor. He demanded answers. She begged for forgiveness, and somewhere in between, their picture-perfect image crumbled like ash in the wind. "I trusted you," Travis shouted, his voice breaking. "I defended you when people whispered. I swore you'd never do this to me, but you chose him. Of all people, him. She tried to reach for him, tears spilling down her cheeks. It wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I was lonely. You're always gone. And he was just there. Her words only fueled the fire. Lonely, absent, excuses that stab deeper than any blade, reports suggest. That in that heated moment, Travis hurled his wedding ring across the room. It clattered against the wall, landing with a sound that seemed to echo louder than anything else. But the drama didn't end there. Fans are shocked to learn that their young daughter, who had been asleep upstairs, awoke to the noise and came down in confusion. Seeing her parents in shambles, the little girl's tearful question, "Are you mad at mommy?" brought the room to a standstill. For a brief second, Travis's rage was silenced by heartbreak. The family he had sworn to protect, the love he thought was unshakable, it's breaking apart before the eyes of the one person who deserved stability the most. Friends close to Travis say he spent that night pacing the living room, his wife sobbing. Quietly on the couch, neither of them able to bridge the chasm between them. The betrayal was too fresh, the wound too deep. By morning, the story had already begun to spread. Teammates noticed Travis's absence from practice, his silence in the group chat, and soon whispers became shouts. Locker room loyalty was tested, as everyone wondered who the guilty teammate was. Was it a starter, a trusted veteran, or the flashy newcomer who had been making headlines? Social media went into a frenzy. Fans speculated wildly, dissecting every post, every interaction, every sideline glance between players. Hashtags began trending, with supporters demanding to know the truth while others begged for privacy. The Hunter family's drama had spilled out of their home and onto the biggest stage of all, the unforgiving court of public opinion. Yet, beneath the noise, the real battle was inside Travis's heart. He wasn't just betrayed by a wife he loved, but by a brother in arms, someone he bled and sweated with. The trust between teammates isn't just about plays, it's about survival, about knowing the man beside you has your back when the stakes are life-changing. To think that same man could be stabbing him in the back off the field was unbearable. Travis's wife, desperate to save face, began sending messages to close friends, insisting it was all a misunderstanding. She claimed the relationship wasn't physical, just emotional. But when screenshots of more messages leaked, filled with affection and late-night rendezvous details, her story unraveled further. The Hunter family, once seen as the epitome of young love and success, now stood at the center of a scandal so messy it threatened not only their marriage but Travis's standing in the league. The team's management had reportedly called him in for a private meeting, urging him to keep things under wraps for the sake of the season. But Travis was not interested in silence. To him, this wasn't just about protecting a brand, it was about reclaiming his dignity, his honor, and his family's future. The stage was set for confrontations bigger than anyone could have imagined. Friends choosing sides, teammates caught in awkward silences, and a family grappling with wounds too raw to heal overnight. And just when everyone thought the worst had been revealed, another twist was waiting in the shadows, ready to ignite the fire all over again. That tension only grew heavier in the Hunter household after that explosive night. Travis barely spoke to his wife, often retreating into the guest room or disappearing for long drives just to clear his head. She, on the other hand, clung desperately to her phone, trying to control the narrative before it spiraled further out of her hands. Fans who once adored their couple goals now flooded social media with suspicions, dissecting every photo, every caption, every slight change in body language that had gone unnoticed before. But the real storm was about to hit the locker room. Teammates had been whispering behind closed doors, and when Travis finally showed up at practice, the air was so thick with tension you could almost slice it with a blade. Eyes darted, conversations hushed, and then it happened. Travis walked straight past his locker, straight toward the teammate at the center of the whispers. "We need to talk," Travis muttered, his voice so cold it sent a chill down the room. The player, tall and muscular with a reputation for charm off the field, looked up and tried to keep his composure. "Man, not here!" But Travis cut him off, slamming his fist against the metal locker door so hard the clang echoed through the entire facility. "Don't you dare act like we can just walk this off. You looked me in the eyes, you called me your brother, and then you went after my wife. Do you know what you've done?" Silence fell over the room. Teammates stared in disbelief, some frozen, others shifting uncomfortably, not sure whether to intervene or let the confrontation play out. The accused teammate finally stood, trying to keep calm, but his voice betrayed him with a slight tremble. "Look, I didn't mean for it to happen. It wasn't planned. She came to me, she said she felt alone. And one thing led to another. Those words were gasoline on fire. She came to you." Travis barked, his face twisted with rage. "And you thought the right move was to take her in your arms instead of telling her to fix her marriage? You betrayed me, man. You betrayed us all." Coaches rushed in at that moment, pulling Travis back before the situation turned physical. But the damage was already done. Whispers were no longer whispers. They were headlines waiting to explode after practice. Reports say Travis stormed out without saying a word to anyone else. He drove straight home, his emotions boiling. His wife was waiting, her face swollen from tears, clutching a photo of their family in happier times. "Please, just listen to me," she begged as soon as he walked in. "I know I messed up, but I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose our family." Travis's jaw clenched. "You already lost me the moment you crossed that line. And do you even understand what you've done to our daughter? What happens when she grows up and hears this story? You didn't just hurt me, you hurt her too." Her sobs filled the room, but Travis's heart was hardened. He paced the living room, torn between walking out for good and staying to salvage the pieces of a life he'd built. Meanwhile, fans online were going wild. Some were furious with his wife, labeling her disloyal and selfish. Others blamed Travis, saying his demanding career left her lonely and vulnerable. And then there were those who turned their focus on the teammate, calling for him to be cut from the roster immediately. The family was left divided, and so were the fans. Travis's parents eventually got involved, visiting the house to confront their daughter-in-law directly. His mother, known for being fiercely protective of her son, didn't hold back. "You had everything," she said sharply, her voice shaking with anger. "You had a man who adored you, who gave you the world, and you threw it away for a fling. How could you do this to him? How could you do this to us?" The wife broke down again, insisting it was never about replacing Travis, that it was a mistake born out of weakness. But no apology seemed strong enough to heal the gaping wound. Behind closed doors, the Jaguars management scrambled to handle the growing chaos. Sponsors were nervous, media outlets were circling, and they feared the scandal could overshadow the entire season. They urged everyone involved to keep quiet, to issue a bland statement about family matters. But Travis refused. He was done protecting anyone but himself and his daughter. Just when things seemed unbearable, another twist came crashing in. A close friend of the wife leaked voice recordings, late-night calls between her and the teammate. In one of them, she could be heard saying, "I wish I could just leave him and be with you. He'll never understand me the way you do." The recordings spread like wildfire, igniting a fresh wave of outrage. Fans who once pitied her now turned viciously against her. Some even questioned whether she had been unfaithful before this, wondering if this was just the tip of the iceberg. Travis listened to the recordings in silence, his face pale, his hands trembling. He had suspected betrayal, but hearing her voice, confessing her heart to another man, was a dagger straight through him. The confrontation that followed was nothing short of explosive. "So it wasn't just a mistake," Travis said, his voice low and dangerous. "It wasn't just loneliness. You wanted him. You planned a life with him." "No, it wasn't like that," she cried, grabbing his arm. "I was confused. I didn't mean it. I was just venting, I swear." but Travis pulled away, his eyes filled with a pain that words couldn't capture. "Don't insult me with lies anymore. I heard you. The world heard you. And now nothing will ever be the same." Outside, paparazzi camped near the house, capturing blurry images of the couple's tearful arguments through windows. Every moment of their private agony became public spectacle. Friends who once flooded their home with laughter now kept their distance, unsure of what to say, unsure of which side to take. Even Travis's teammates were split. Some sympathized with him, while others worried about the growing distraction hurting the team's chances on the field. And just when it felt like the drama couldn't get any darker, rumors began swirling that the wife wasn't the only one keeping secrets. Whispers suggested the teammate had also been involved with someone else, someone shockingly close to Travis's circle. The whispers about the teammate's double life spread like wildfire, creating another storm that no one saw coming. At first, it sounded too outrageous to be true after all. How could someone already entangled in such a scandal risk digging an even deeper hole? But as more voices joined in, claiming they had seen him sneaking around with yet another woman, the rumor began to feel less like gossip and more like a devastating reality. And then the truth dropped. The second woman was none other than a close family friend of Travis. Someone who had been at their wedding, someone who had shared Thanksgiving dinners and birthday parties with them. Fans were left speechless. This wasn't just betrayal anymore. This was a tangled web of lies, deceit, and reckless indulgence. When Travis found out, his fury reached a level no one had ever seen before. He called his teammate late at night, his voice sharp enough to cut glass. "You didn't just betray me once, you betrayed me twice. You wrecked my family and disrespected my home. What kind of man are you?" On the other end, the teammate tried to defend himself. "Man, you don't get it. Things just happened. I didn't plan any of this. I'm not proud of it, but it wasn't like I was out to hurt you. Things just happened." Travis barked back, "You're destroying lives, and all you can say is things just happened. You should have thought about the consequences before you decided to crawl into every woman's life around me." Their heated exchange was reportedly overheard by friends, and within hours, leaks of the call surfaced online. Fans devoured every leak, every word, replaying the audio, analyzing the raw rage in Travis's voice and the pathetic excuses in his teammates. The betrayal was no longer just a private affair. It had become a public scandal gripping the entire sports community. Meanwhile, Travis's wife was spiraling. Once desperate to defend herself, she now looked broken, realizing that her mistake had snowballed into something far bigger. Friends said she barely ate, barely slept, consumed by guilt and fear of losing everything: her husband, her daughter, and her public image. But not everyone pitied her. Travis's sister, furious at the mess her brother had been dragged into, confronted her directly. "You don't get to cry now," she said, her voice filled with venom. "You set this fire, and now the whole family is burning because of you. You were supposed to protect him, not tear him apart." Those words cut deep, leaving the wife sobbing uncontrollably. She begged for forgiveness again, swearing she would do anything to fix things. But Travis, torn between his anger and his sense of responsibility toward their daughter, remained distant. The Jaguars organization could no longer contain the chaos. Reporters hounded players at every press conference, demanding to know whether the locker room was divided. Speculation about trades, suspensions, and even legal actions ran rampant. Team officials met privately with Travis, urging him to issue a statement. But Travis refused to play along with their carefully crafted script. "I'm not a robot," he told them. "I'm a man who's been betrayed by the people closest to me. I won't hide it. I won't pretend like it didn't happen. Let the world know exactly how I feel." Fans, hearing his defiance, rallied behind him. Hashtag supporting Travis trended worldwide, while the teammate's reputation plummeted. Sponsors reportedly began distancing themselves from the accused player, quietly removing his face from promotional materials. Yet, the drama didn't stop there. Another shocking twist unfolded when an anonymous source claimed there were photos intimate. Photos of Travis's wife and the teammate together. At first, the rumor seemed too cruel to believe, but within days, blurred images began circulating online. While faces were partially hidden, the resemblance was undeniable. The internet erupted. "This is proof," some fans declared. Others argued it was fake, photoshopped to stir chaos. But for Travis, the damage was done. Seeing those images, whether real or not, was enough to reopen every wound. The confrontation at home that night was brutal. "Do you have any idea what those pictures did to me?" Travis demanded, slamming his phone on the table. "To the world, to my daughter, to everyone who looked up to us. You humiliated me in front of millions." His wife collapsed into sobs, swearing, "They're fake. They have to be fake. I swear I never posed for anything like that. You have to believe me." But Travis couldn't. The images, the texts, the recordings, they all blurred together until he no longer knew what was real and what wasn't. All he knew was that trust, the foundation of their marriage, had been shattered beyond recognition. Friends began urging Travis to consider divorce, telling him that he deserved better, that he shouldn't carry the weight of betrayal any longer. But divorce meant breaking apart his daughter's home, okay? Admitting that the fairy tale he had once promised her was gone forever, okay? And that decision tore at him more than any scandal ever could. As if the chaos wasn't enough, the teammate himself faced a backlash so fierce that he reportedly received threats online. His family was dragged into the mess, his parents harassed, his siblings targeted by angry fans. He tried to issue a public apology, a shaky video where he admitted to mistakes, but avoided specifics. Fans weren't satisfied. Mistakes, they scoffed. This wasn't a mistake, was a calculated betrayal. The apology video only made things worse, fueling the anger rather than calming it. By now, the story had become bigger than sports. Entertainment shows, gossip blogs, even mainstream news outlets covered every twist, every fight, every leak. The Hunter family's pain had become a global spectacle, dissected by strangers who debated whether Travis should stay, leave, or even forgive. But in the middle of the chaos, Travis made a decision that shocked everyone. Instead of staying silent or disappearing from the spotlight, he agreed to sit down for a raw, unfiltered interview. He wanted to speak his truth, to tell the world exactly what happened in his own words. The announcement of the interview alone sent fans into a frenzy. "He's finally going to spill everything," they said. "We'll know the whole truth." And when the day of the interview came, the world watched, waiting for the moment Travis Hunter would lay bare the deepest wounds of his life. But what he revealed next turned the entire scandal upside down and left fans questioning everything they thought they knew. And there you have it, one of the most shocking, heartbreaking, and dramatic sagas the sports world has ever seen. Travis Hunter, once the golden boy of love and loyalty, now stands at a crossroads where every decision will shape not just his career, but his entire future. His wife's tearful apologies, his teammates' hollow excuses, and his daughter's innocent confusion have painted a picture more explosive than any reality TV drama. And fans everywhere are left divided. Some say he should forgive. Others say he should walk away for good. But what do you think? Is this the kind of betrayal that can ever be forgiven? Or has the trust been shattered beyond repair? Should Travis fight for his family? Or should he focus on protecting himself and his daughter from further heartbreak? And what about the teammate? Does he deserve a second chance in the league? Or has he crossed a line that can never be undone? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story isn't just about Travis Hunter. It's about loyalty, betrayal, and the choices we all face when trust is broken. If you were hooked by this roller coaster of drama, Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next jaw-dropping update. Trust me, in a saga like this, the next chapter could explode at any moment, and you'll want to be the first to know.